Court would not take the Texas case. What a bunch of gutless Supremes. So here's the thing. I haven't done a monologue in a long time, so I'm trying to do this one so that it will be able to be seen, I hope. But I'm not very hopeful about what can be done at this point. The Supreme Court should have at least given a hearing, and that was Justice Alito's one and only point. No court wants to see the evidence. Things have to be decided by evidence. And they don't want to let the Trump representatives or the attorney generals from other states show them the evidence. It's incredible. So I'm really disgusted with what's happened in this situation. This is a minimum standard, and the Supreme Court should have permitted a hearing because Texas has original jurisdiction as suing another state. And so why are they afraid of seeing the evidence? There's so much evidence, and that the main point here is that the elections in those four states was not conducted according to what the legislature of each one of those states said it should be done. They didn't verify signatures the way they were supposed to. They extended time periods beyond what the legislature had said should be the case. And who knows how many other technicalities. They didn't have observers, they didn't have this or that. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I'm not a lawyer in this case, so I don't know all the evidence, but at least they should have permitted the lawyers to be able to present the evidence, but they didn't. Anyway, since I'm a person that always focuses on what can be done, it seems to me that there's one thing that can be done, and that is the legislature of Georgia. I don't know if the other three would do this or not. I don't know the composition, but at least the legislature of Georgia is a Republican legislature, and they can get together and decide what the electors are going to be and what votes can be counted and which ones can't. And they can say, we didn't authorize no signature on all these ballots, so those ballots don't count, or no verification of signature, I must say. And these ballots that came in afterwards, they're not going to count either. So that's what can be done. And that's an important fact, because you don't want this election or other elections to be done the way these mail-in ballot, which are rife with fraud. You can't check them like you do an in-person ballot. In my own opinion, voting should just be done in person, and they should put some ink on your finger like they used to do, and which is hard to wash off immediately. And that's how they do it in other countries, and that's a much better system than what we have with these machines. We don't really know what happened, or we've already proven there's evidence that the machines can be tampered with, and they're counted in other countries, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I think that the important thing now is for the governor and the attorney general of Georgia, and I don't know about the other states because I don't know all the details, they should make sure that the legislature of their state has a chance to require the laws on election that they stated was implemented in the last election. And if it wasn't, redress it to the extent that it was a variation, it deviated from what the law said it should be. Now, let's talk a little bit about politics and what more can be done. Obviously, the governor of Georgia is off his rocker. And an attempt by the Trump team should be made to contact him if they don't. Like Newt Gingrich probably knows him. If he doesn't, he knows someone who does know him. And they got to talk to him, talk some sense into this guy. Because the obvious fact here is that this governor will be a pariah and will never hold another Republican office again in his life, as well as these legislators that are just crossing their arms and sitting back and doing nothing. And they are reneging on their responsibility to Georgia and to the country. So that's my positive advice. And it looks like it's going to be totally uphill, and it looks like they're going to have to live with Biden. Now, when Biden runs the country, don't complain when the economy goes down the drain. Don't complain when you have all kinds of intrigue, palace intrigue between Kamala Harris and the Biden camp, between the far left Antifa. Don't complain if they have riots when they don't get what they want. Don't complain about all the money that's going to be spent for nothing in the Green New Deal that will achieve absolutely nothing. Don't complain about all these things that are going to happen. And don't complain when you lose your money in the stock market. It's going to be bad. And the policy mistakes are going to be rife. And even if they don't get Georgia, they'll do a good deal of damage through executive orders. So there you have it. It's a pity that Joe Biden isn't the guy that I interviewed 30 years ago, where he still had his wits together and he was a reasonable senator and had not been corrupted by 30 years of redistributing wealth and taking money from some people in order to give to the others. And so when you are doing legalized theft for 3 decades, your character is corrupted, and that's what we got now. So there you have it. Let me know what you all think, and I'll be off the air. I don't know how long. Bye-bye.